especially in tongue. No one couldn't walk alone. Tongue was like a battle zone.
It's Monday morning. That means the TTPS is joining us on now in the form of Inspector Michelle Lewis. Good morning to you, Inspector.
Good morning, sir. Good morning, Trinidad and Tobago.
And a happy Monday to you.
Happy Monday, happy week to you.
How are you this morning?
We are good.
Yeah?
Yes, I'm well.
All right, so this morning we're talking online bank scams and how to avoid them.
Yes.
Now, we've been seeing people complaining that they click a link and then they lost access to this and that and the
Yes.
other. People have been complaining about all varieties of scams when it comes to their bank accounts especially. What's going on?
Well, because there's more use of online banking and online use generally, you're seeing that type of increase in fraudulent, well, online or cyber offenses. Before we saw a lot of the phishing offense, and the phishing is really where someone sends you an email with the intent, of course, to get some kind of information from you, right? And the intent is to fraudulently obtain your banking information and personal ID information and that kind of thing so that they can take your money.
Right,
right?
basically.
But now
So
we are seeing...
You're talking about the emails, like the ones that come from the South African prince.
Yeah, from anywhere in the world,
yeah.
saying that, you know, I lost my wallet was stolen.
Right.
I lost everything, or I'm in distress. I've got ill. I need $50,000. Can you send this to me? And the intent is that you click on the link on the app,
And
right?
from the time you click on that link, they automatically get access to everything inside
because
the
there's a
computer.
malware, correct.
Yeah.
So we saw that phishing very prevalent in Trinidad. Now we are seeing another type of offense, which is through the SMS, where they send you text message, a very short message, which is very urgent or seems very urgent, but it's fraudulent, indicating that something is happening. Either somebody is fraudulently accessing your account, or some kind of activity that you need to urgently give attention to. So we are now seeing that trending in Trinidad and Tobago, and that type of online offense is called smishing. So it moved from phishing to smishing. Both still exist, but we are now seeing this one coming up more in Trinidad. And then there's the other one of vishing.
Vishing.
Vishing is where you actually
I
have
want to
the
read it
code.
because I got one of the messages.
Yes.
The smishing, you call it?
Yes.
It says your account is placed on hold due to unusual activities. Please go to, and there's a link,
Yes.
to verify and regain access immediately. Now, one of the things that, before we move on to the next one, right? In terms of helping people to identify whether this is a real message coming from your bank or not, how do they go about identifying that?
Right. So the first thing first is that you're getting that message on your mobile device.
Right.
Most times the bank will not contact you from a cell number to your cell phone. So that's the first red flag that you would know that, listen, this doesn't seem, my bank WhatsApping me or texting me. In this case, it's an SMS message, right? So that's the first thing that you will notice. If it is that you recognize that, listen, I've gotten this from your bank or your financial institution, and you don't know the number, go onto their official site or documents that you have where you know the bank official contact numbers and contact the bank officially. Usually it's a landline. Right? So that should indicate to you, well, listen, this is not correct. And you contact the bank and find out, did you send me a message? Is something happening with my bank account? Now, all banks now have 24-hour online telephone service, so you can call them at whatever time of the day or night to find out if some kind of fraudulent activity is taking place on your bank account. And we advise you to do that to be safe. Now, the intent, of course, and for persons who are unaware of what is actually happening with cyber attackers or fraudulent online cybercrime.
The scammer them there.
Yeah, the intent is really for you to click on that link. And of course, in clicking on that link, they get your information, your banking information, your personal identification information, your password, and all of that.
Everything you have stored in your mobile device.
Correct. Yeah. So the intent really is to get that malware downloaded onto your device, onto your to be able to extract that information, and of course transfer funds, right? All your savings, all your hard-earned cash that you would have put there for a rainy day and for whatever purpose that you wanted for, it was now stolen from you.
Yeah. But aside from that, though, they also are able to access, like, let's say, your WhatsApp or your social media and be able to take it over and then further commit more scams.
Correct, because you would have now given them the password to your email, password to your banking information, and anything else, because a lot of persons have a lot of their personal information on their cell phones.
Yeah.
So with giving them access, you literally...
You give away everything?
You give away everything.
All right. So the idea is, identify, is this a real message coming
Correct.
from whether my service provider, whether a bank or whatever the case might be.
Yes.
Identify firstly, is this a genuine
Yes.
message?
So verify by
Right.
calling.
By calling.
Yeah.
And making
not
sure.
that number that you're seeing there. Do not click on the link and do not call that number that is sending you that SMS message.
That part is-
right? That is important.
That's very important.
Right? Not that contact number. So you're looking into the official contact numbers from your bank, either
Right.
the back of your bank card would have it, whatever type of bank card you have, it's there at the back of it. Utilize those numbers, make the call to verify that this is actually genuine.
All right. The other one you were mentioning is vishing.
Vision is really where they call you and say, listen, you've just won something, we want to send you X amount of money, so send us some information about you so that we can wire the money to you, right? We haven't seen that as much, but what we are seeing now with this mission,
All right. The text
fraudulent,
message as well.
correct,
Yeah.
coming a lot in Trinidad and Tobago.
I
now.
think that I don't know about the phone calls ones yet.
Not yet, not that,
but
but
I know that
it's
it's
there.
similar. That's similar to the email ones that we
Yes,
mentioned
it is.
earlier, where people oftentimes reach out and say, "Well, I just came into some money and I want to share the love or share
Yeah.
the support or whatever. All you
want a
have to
lot
do
to-
is send me X
Yes.
amount of information or X amount of money, and I will send you
Yes.
whatever the case is."
Yeah.
And
So-
we're advising people not to fall for
Yeah,
those
so
things.
if it normally when it sounds too good to be true, it is really not true. Now sometimes persons are genuinely tricked because that is the intent, that it looks legitimate, it sounds legitimate, so that the person would click on the link and give their information away to an unknown person.
Now, Inspector, is there any jurisdiction for the TTPS when it comes to these things? If somebody was to click the link and they get all their money stolen, is there anything that the TTPS can do about that?
Well, there are offences that persons can be charged for.
Right, if you find them.
Well, yes, and there's where we have the fraud squad within the TTPS, which is located at Government Campus on Richmond Street down there, right? So we have the unit that treats with fraudulent offences, and then we also have the stations that also treat with fraudulent offences to a certain amount, and then the higher amount goes to fraud squad, right? So that we do have within the TTPS the mechanisms in place to treat with those types of offences. So now where we're seeing more offences, cyber attacks and cyber crimes, persons are charged under the computer misuse of data or computer data program to be able to get your information and be able to extract money from one account to another, right? And so persons would usually be charged for two types of offenses. You'll be charged for that misuse of computer data program as well as larceny, because the intent is to deprive the person of their finance.
But if it is that is somebody who is doing it from outside of Trinidad and Tobago, do you have jurisdiction there?
Well, there are...
the international partners.
Yeah, there are international partners, and you communicate. So there's a protocol to follow in terms of communicating with through I think it's the Attorney General office to the other organization to be able to extract.
Or is this?
It may not necessarily be Interpol, but I know that there are systems in place for that level of communication, because remember, you also have online where you have like you transfer money from one account to a Swiss account or whatever. That type of offense also happens where you transfer large sums. So the mechanism is there. I just can't recall the names and the
but there's a mechanism
to
capture and deal with criminals who do this internationally as well. Okay.
But the process, of course, you have to go through the process and, the check-in and the cyber, and then be requesting the information from that country. And that kind of
do you
thing.
know if we have any cases of that have been successful, where people have
I
been
know
able
we
to
have
get back their
cases
money?
of it. I cannot say definitely the success of it, but I do know having attended a course some time ago, and that came up within the CARICOM countries and then external, that it does exist. So you would have Security Exchange Commission getting involved with that as well, and different agencies getting involved with it. But yeah, it does exist.
I mean, but in order to avoid it, I think is the best approach, to just stay away from it completely, so you have to worry about putting the TTPS through that and all that work that they have to do if you just don't click the link.
And then the bank as well. So we see in bank financial institutions putting out advisories to customers, letting them know that, listen, if you see this activity taking place, do not click on it, do not call the number, anything like that. And that is really to safeguard your money so that you don't lose your money, and then an investigation has to take place before you can actually get back. Your money is not going to be like today for tomorrow.
Nope.
You know, so
today for the next 10 years,
and sometimes they take all of it. You know, so so
I
it's
know that
really
there was a situation that happened. Was it either earlier this year or last year, where one of the banks, they like somebody posted a whole different website, but the spelling of the name of the bank was different. Those are things that we should be paying attention to, right? Those little details.
So, and even so, you're seeing it really happening a lot with banking institutions, both with banks and other financial institutions such as credit unions. And so as the more that it is being seen, more we are making the public aware that these things are happening more frequent than you think. So that when you see this happening, be very cautious not to go and engage it at all, because you're really giving away your hand, as people say, right? So the public this morning, the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service really want to advise and agree with those banking institutions that are advising you not to click on the app and not to call the number that is sending you that type of SMS message, because really it is fraudulent, looks legitimate, but it is actually fraudulent. So in such cases, report it to your bank, and if it is that fraudulent activity has in fact happened with you, report it to the TTPS. Make a report.
I mean, I would like to add to that, let's use a little bit of common sense and say that, you know, your banking institution wouldn't send you a SMS from a random phone number. They will send you it with the official tags of the company if they are sending you a SMS message. But again, if you're still unsure, just call the bank and verify, hey, is there something going on with my account? Should I be clicking this link here? And I know some people may click the link by accident. They might be reading the message and click the link just without even thinking about it. But stop, think about it before you click any of the messages that you might receive from anybody. Even if it comes from an official thing, just double check, make sure, take your time before you click it, Anything else before we wrap this morning, Inspector?
Well, of course, this morning we continue to encourage persons that, you know, if this has happened, because we see that persons, when these things happen to them, they share the information to sensitize the public, to let them know that this is actually real, these things actually do happen. And so we really urge you to take the advice when you see it, so that your monies remain in your bank account safely where it's supposed to be. So this is our message to the public this morning in relation to cyber crime and cyber attack to your hard-earned money, that you really pay attention to it, not click on those apps that any malware will get onto your device, that your data will be stolen.
Inspector, thank you so much for joining us and for sharing this information this morning. Hopefully, people who need to hear it were listening and paying attention, and they will take it into consideration going forward so that you don't lose what is yours. Okay? Ladies and gentlemen, this is how we wrap up this segment for now. TTPS on now this morning in the form of Inspector Michelle Lewis. Inspector, my director upstairs says good morning, and he appreciates you coming and sharing the information with us every single week.
Good morning, TTT. Always a pleasure to be here.
Definitely a pleasure to have you. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll take a quick break, and when we come back, you have your birthday shout. Stick around.
But nowadays and so, I am all shocked to know love and peace. Let's say thanks to the police all around, especially in town.